One has been here, one came on time, the other has just arrived, and he'll be joining us on set. We have Philip Etale, the Director of Communications, ODM. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Merci.
And shortly joining us on this table will be Dennis Itumbi as well. He's the Secretary, Digital Innovations and Diaspora, State House, and he'll be joining us in just a bit. Last time I hosted you on Etale, I think it was between probably the first and the second election last year, or a bit later after that. And then we were talking about elections and the electoral process, etc. 6 months later, it's like all of that didn't happen. We are now talking about handshake, war on corruption, allegations of a witch hunt. Did you think the narrative would change so quickly within a space of 6 months?
I didn't foresee that happening, but you know, as there's this old adage that politics, the dynamics of politics can change anytime. And indeed, they have, and I believe that's what we are witnessing now. Because, you know, I didn't foresee a handshake.
You did not foresee
but it happened. And perhaps that's what God had planned for this country, that we have this handshake, then things start cooling down, you know. The tension that was building over whatever happened during the election has now
tapered down.
Everything now is cool, and I think the economy can grow. People can go about doing their businesses. You know, if you go to Kisumu, you'll find people from different parts of the country going there. You know, most of the time when I go home in Western, I fly, and I see people from different parts of the country going to Kisumu in the name of doing business. But that could not happen after the election. Same to other parts of the country like Nyeri, Muranga, Kiambu. You know, there was that tension. But I think with the coming in of this handshake of the two leaders, I think the country has now calmed down. Everything is good. Now we are ready to go. But what is now taking us back is this issue of corruption. And
I want you to hold it there, because that one, I think I'll need to give you adequate time to talk about it. And what some are saying were the unexpected effects of the handshake. And I'm coming to you for that in just a bit. But first things first, let me take our viewers to Parliament, where Stephen Leto is monitoring a trade committee that is probing the illicit sugar scandal, illicit sugar puzzle or mystery. I don't know what word you prefer to use there, Leto, but tell us what we can expect today from Parliament.
Well, Wahiga, indeed, like you've said, it's all systems go for the committees that were tasked to look into this matter on contraband sugar in the country. And it is something that, you know, generated a heated debate from the beginning of this matter, when Aden Duale, the leader of the majority party, fronted an adjournment motion. And from then, we saw a lot of, exchanges from both sides of the floor, both from the majority side and from the minority side, trying to, say what they felt about the ongoing crackdown. Some of them, of course, they had to do a lot in terms of arguing what exactly should be done, and even putting several cabinet secretaries on the spot in regards to, who is, to blame for the counterfeit, the contraband sugar in the country. And today, Wahiga, we are having the Committee on Trade that is chaired by Kieni Member of Parliament Kanini Kega. It is expected to meet any moment from now. Already we have seen officials from from KEBS. They are already in the Parliament presence, and of course the Anti-Counterfeit Agency, they have also been summoned by the Trade Committee to appear before them this morning. There was a little bit confusion on where that committee, that is the Trade Committee, should hold its sittings, but for now we are told that that has been settled, and any moment from now the committee will be taken to task the KEBS officials to ask them how the counterfeit, or rather contraband sugar, made its way into the country, and the debate on the composition of or the existence of mercury and copper in the sugar that the Interior CS and the DCI had been alluding to. Of course, that had been disputed by Industrialization CS Aden Mohammed, but the committee has gone ahead and invited those who are supposed to, check the standardization of what is consumed in the country. And again, once they have been met, then we shall be able to know, because already they had sent yesterday a statement saying that there is no contaminated sugar in the country, and whatever is in the shelves and in the stores countrywide is safe for human consumption. It came at a time when the country had already, had jitters on what to do in terms of consumption of sugar, because already the Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, who is a government official, announced that there were, traces of mercury and copper in the sugar that is existing in the country. And so that, of course, we want to know what again what the committee will be requiring from them. But remember, this is a kickoff of a long summoning days that we expect. Even for Cabinet Secretary, that is Agriculture CS Mwangi Kiunjuri, Treasury CS Henry Rotich, the Interior CS Dr. Fred Matiang'i, and Industrialization CS Aden Mohammed. They will be summoned. But yesterday, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Wahiga, said that this matter should be held or should be tackled by a joint committee of the National Assembly, that the Committee on Trade as well as the Committee on Agriculture. And that we've seen today, the Committee of Trade has gone ahead to invite the KEBS without the Committee on Agriculture. And again, the Committee on Agriculture yesterday said it had gone ahead and invited all the Cabinet Secretaries to appear before it on Monday. We are yet to know when these two committees will be doing a joint, a joint sitting to kick off this probe, because they have been given only 10 days from yesterday afternoon by the Speaker, and in 2 weeks' time they are expected to table the report before the floor of the House, and again that be debated. Wahiga, one interesting thing is this is not the first time that a sugar probe report will be tabled before the National Assembly. In the 11th Parliament, that was again tabled, and members of Parliament say that it was politicized, and even cartels had taken Parliament hostage, and that particular report was not fully debated and implemented in terms of how it was even delivered to the floor of the House. But yesterday, the members of Parliament of the Agriculture Committee, that's chaired by Mandera South Member of Parliament Aden Haji, confirmed that there is political goodwill across the country in terms of the political temperatures and even the handshake from the March 9th. And then going forward, they say that should they conclude this sugar report in the next 10 days, then they will give a solid report that will be able to sort the sugar sector once and for all. And so we are waiting to see who will be invited more. Remember, again, in the top on the list of those who will be invited is the director of the rye companies, that is Jaswinda Rai. He is also a person of interest by the two committees, as well as the directors of the hydro and diamond wholesalers who are also wanted to appear before the committee. And of course, all the directors of over 100 companies that are said to have done the sugar business in the country. And so, Wahiga, that is exactly what we are trying to keenly follow from this side of Parliament. And of course, as and when we get the very details of what I've just alluded to, is when again we'll come back to you, Wahiga, and give you the very sugary details of what will be happening right here in the National Assembly. Wahiga.
Sounds like a sweet plan. Thank you, Stephen Leto, for that update live from Parliament. And as I mentioned, Dennis Itumbi was in studio and is now right here on this table with me. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, before you came on, I think, Etale, you're the one who started this conversation. This is on social media. You said, catch me live on Citizen with Itumbi shortly. And someone has already tagged, responded and said, Itumbi, ask him why Murkomen, Cheriot, Sudi, Cherargei, Ishungwa, and himself are jittery when lifestyle audit is mentioned in the same sentence. I had other questions to start with, but let's just get straight into that.
I do not think any of them is jittery. All what they have done, and I have followed them, I've also had chats with them in private, all what they are saying is that the mechanisms for the lifestyle audit needs to be on a global standard, and they need to be put in a way that allows everyone to be able to be subjected to it. None of them has gone public and said, I will not do a lifestyle audit.
Who are they directing that, what you've just said, to the president, who's their party leader?
No, I mean, you see, there is no legal mechanism to back up what comes from a forensic lifestyle audit. As legislators, they're saying, we need to put up a law that will back up whatever is found, so that if Dennis is found to be corrupt, there is a legal mechanism that enforces. Remember, this lifestyle audit is not a Kenyan innovation. It's been done before in other countries. I mean, in Switzerland, there is a law. In the UK, there is a law that backs it up. Here, we do not have a law. So they're saying it is important that it needs to start, because it's a lengthy process. We have many public servants. But as it starts, we need to have another system in Parliament to allow the laws to be formulated, which is, by the way, also what Senator Orengo also said. In the last Parliament, when he was discussing a motion on graft, he clearly said that lifestyle audits should not only be introduced, but strong laws to back lifestyle audits.
Strong laws to back them.
It is not a new thing in terms of the demand for a law. However, please also remember that before the President called for lifestyle audits for all public servants, which we are going to subject ourselves to, there was a lifestyle audit that was ordered for accountants and procurement officers. In that, it was a very lengthy thing, about 15 points of what they need to declare, so that it is compared with the income streams they have. So whatever. And you remember they went to court and challenged and were given suspension, and then the court lifted it later, but the hearing is still on. So it is those legal hiccups that are being avoided, so that at the time when you've done lifestyle audits, you are then now not starting to discuss.
Okay.
Yes.
When Etale, your party leader, who, for all intents and purposes, does not earn a public salary at the moment, has said he's ready to declare he's ready to be audited, his lifestyle. Let me get your thoughts on this.
You know, he always leads from the front, and he's always been agitating for zero tolerance in the country, you know, in public institutions. And being a leader, he believes that everyone must account for what they've gotten during their tenure in office, and even before. You know, it's funny to find someone, okay, say me, with what I earn, owning something that I cannot afford with my salary. So that's exactly what what the president said, that everyone who has you know, been implicated in one or two things, you know, must subject themselves for lifestyle audit. But you know, there's something that my colleague here said. Live on TV, he says a different thing about laws. You know, we come up with a legislation that can ensure that you have a smooth operation in terms of lifestyle audit. But when him and the other gentleman you mentioned on Twitter, the senator and company, when they go out there or when they tweet, whatever they say is to the contrary of what my brother is saying. Because, you know, when you start talking about someone is saying that the president said we should be audited, you know, people should subject themselves for lifestyle audit. Then if that is to happen, then we start with their families, you know, their dead fathers, you know. This is not death style audit, it is lifestyle audit.
Why do you think, if we are to take your discussion forward, why do you think they are giving these contradictory statements? I
know, everyone knows.
What
your
does
guess is
know?
As good as mine. Because, you know, my brother Dennis and Senator Murkomen and Kimani Ichung'wah, Honorable, and others, David Sudi, we know where their allegiance is. And they believe that this lifestyle audit is targeting a particular individual with whom they have association with. But that's not the case. It's about Kenya. It's about anybody who is in office of responsibility and is doing things that you know, that do not amount to what they earn. You know, we know their salary. We know the salary of Dennis Itumbi. We know the salary of...
what's my salary?
So. We can't say it in public.
No, I'm giving you permission.
It should be within the range of 200,000 or something. But let me tell you something. If you see Mr. Dennis Itumbi...
Is that true?
Mr. Dennis Itumbi living a big hotel. I'm just trying to guess because I don't know. He has never disclosed it to me. But we know what the president earns, we know what the deputy president earns, we know what a member of parliament earns, we know what a governor earns, we know what an MCA earns.
Okay.
So you'll not expect an MCA to start
putting up a hotel,
living a big life, yet their salary is known. So that's why we are saying they must subject themselves for lifestyle audit, so that we know where is this extra money coming from? Where do you get this other money? We know you work from Monday to Friday, but Saturday is just one day off, then Sunday is church for those who are not Adventists. And for those who are Adventists, it's Saturday, then Sunday they are off. So one day cannot
allow you to
make so much money that you can go to Harambes carrying large parcels of money to contribute and say that you are helping and, you know, investing.
Fair enough. Yeah. Then it's coming.
First of all, I think Etale needs to update himself on several things. When procurement officers were asked to do a lifestyle audit, they are declaring what they have, their movable and the immovable assets. Then they are declaring what their siblings earn. They are also declaring what their immediate family earn, what their fathers and mothers or parents, so to speak, have and own. They are also declaring what their spouses have and own. They are also declaring all the companies associated with them and all their revenue streams. Why I'm raising that is because he says, I mean, you shouldn't, it is not death style. I agree. All what these politicians were referring to is that there is a standard that has been set for procurement officers. So if we use the same standard that has been set, which Etale never complained about, by the way, and for the record, if we use the standard that was set for procurement officers, then it should apply to everyone. And if you have another one, then it should be published so that people can start. I mean, if I was to do lifestyle audit today, there is no guiding memo to tell me what I need to declare for now. That memo
and that
is
your key concern.
Yeah, no, that's the key concern of the politicians. I have no concern myself. I'm willing to appear on a lifestyle audit even now if you tell me where to go to. You get
and how to do it.
And how to do it. Yeah, you can. You can subject me to it and I will do it.
So the allegations of witch hunting?
The other, I'm coming to that. The other thing, let me first react to what he has said. The other thing he says is that we know your salary. That is the most, and I agree with Senator Murkomen, it's the most nonsensical thing that...
This is the social media hashtag campaign that's been run
the
by
social media campaign
bloggers.
of we know your salary. I've just demonstrated to you that he has no idea what he first started by saying we know what Dennis Itumbi earns. When you challenge him, he says it is in the range of, so he has no idea. Number two, beyond the salary, their income streams. A lifestyle audit is a forensic audit that is supposed to detect or prevent corruption. It is a tool. It is one of the tools that can be used to fight corruption. Like you can have a website, you can have a number that exists, a hotline. So this is just one of those tools. So when we go for we know your salary as the only bit, it is wrong. I mean, for instance, we have Karuga, who was a journalist and who we all know who went to do chicken farming. Karuga today has about 300,000 chicken. Even if he was to sell each of those chicken at 100 shillings a month, that would be 30 million. If he was still employed and we were saying he goes for a forensic audit, we'll not only be looking at the salary, we'll also be looking at what is coming out from the chicken sales, which is credibly enough money to be able to sustain a lifestyle that is.
But with Karuga, you can at least say he can take you to where he's getting his money if we are to use that.
And
that's what I'm saying.
And where he started. What about others for whom
that's exactly my point.
The overnight millionaire tag.
You know where I work. You don't know whether I keep pigs. By the way, I have 600 pigs. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Yeah. So those are the things, that there are other revenue streams that inform a lifestyle that I lead.
Should politicians be mandated to declare those other revenue streams so that we don't need...
And that is why the hashtag we know your salary is misinformed, because there are other revenue streams. They should be mandated, and they will declare all revenue streams and how that informs what they own.
Okay.
You know, Wahiga, I believe there's some sour grapes here. You know, there are people who are just agitated and disenfranchised with this whole thing of lifestyle audit, because they know that if this thing is successful, and I believe someone will be going to court very soon, they'll use someone to go to court and say, no, there's no such law that provides for lifestyle audit. That one is coming, and you should expect it. But if it were to be successful, I can tell you for sure, there are people who are going to be minced meat. And I can tell you for free, they'll not survive it. But they'll do everything within their means to fight this thing. And they've started. It began on social media. It has gone on public fora. It's now on TV. People coming to talk shows and talking about how it's not about targeting an individual. And we'll repeat this. If anyone believes that they have acquired their wealth legally and within their means, they should be honorable enough to present themselves for this lifestyle audit, declare what they have, declare where the extra source, the extra money is coming from. Because we cannot be having a public servant every day of the week moving around, dishing out money. You know, money can come and go. That one, I believe everyone knows that. But you cannot come, you cannot be invited. On one weekend, you have 5 fundraisers. Then, besides that, there are some of your cronies moving around different parts of the country, dishing out money.
Who is this you're referring to?
No, I'm not. Some leaders around here. I'm not mentioning names. I'm not going to drop names here. But I'm just trying to say that, you know, there are things that are happening in this country which are not good. You know, whereas somebody in Turukana, Lokichogyo, is dying of hunger, someone somewhere is busy, living large, not caring about this small person down there. We must think about the small person first. If you're a leader, always think about the person that is below you before you think about yourself. That's why we need this lifestyle audit, so that people can declare what they have, and what the excess that they have acquired should be taken back. And
hang on. Let's take a look. We have some tweets here. I actually think we should run all of them if that's possible. Let's start with the first one by Senator Kipchumba Murkomen. He said, nobody becomes rich or wealthy through salary. This was, I think, 2 or 3 days ago. Not Uhuru Kenyatta, not William Ruto, not Raila Odinga. You must take loans, do business, sell goods and or services, do farming, create ideas, and sell them, etc. Stop this nonsense of hashtag we know your salary. That's the online campaign. Mzee Kenyatta taught us to fight poverty, not riches. Okay, Dennis Itumbi, and he's here in studio. I am a public servant. He put, that's your real number?
That's my number.
Okay. I will present myself for lifestyle audit when my time comes. My salary, other sources of income, and property owned will be declared for audit. Senator Murkomen is not saying anything different from that. Let's hang on there. Let me get a reaction from Dennis on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a public servant. First of all, I have no choice. Once a president makes a decree, I have absolutely no choice. I will submit myself to any. By the way, Waiga Maura, instead of Etale sitting here as an innovative communication director of a political party with ambitions to take over power, he should use the Constitution. Article 34 provides you with an opportunity to ask for any government document. Every 2 years, every public servant declares their wealth, and some of us call it our poverty, on a document called Declaration of Wealth.
How hard or how easy is it to get that document? That has been the question.
The court has already ruled. Ahmed Nasir moved to court under Nairobi Law Monthly versus Kenjan. He wanted to access some documents. The court ruled every citizen of Kenya has the absolute right to obtain any document from government. But they put a caveat so that you don't have someone going to ask how many guns does the military own. So a caveat to protect our national security, they said you have to go to court to access that. By the way, going to court, and Omtata has proved to you, is a free and easy way to be able to get the information.
Well, free and easy to you and me here in studio, but to the person Turkana, as he mentioned, that might not be the case.
But
carry on.
I'm actually referring to Etale. So, so that he can do it, because he's a national party, he can do it on behalf of the people in Turkana. So that I can be able to access that information of wealth declaration, long even before the information on lifestyle audits is processed and done. He can be able to get that and know what has been owned over time. That is one.
Okay.
Number two, last night, you know, ODM is a very interesting party. Last night, ODM Deputy Director of Campaigns, Mr. Ladwa, was arrested for trying to extort 30 million from Governor Kingi of Kilifi.
Also, the allegations go, and I know you picked up with
other he's been arrested, and that's what I'm saying. It's an allegation. Arrested means an allegation and will be prosecuted. ODM, up to this very moment, which is 4 hours, actually 8 hours since he was arrested, has issued no single statement on the matter to even say that he is suspended from his position. This is a party that tells us that there should be immediate action. When that happened in government for NYS, the president, the people involved, because they know the stance of the president, actually offered to step aside. And the president said he had accepted their resignation. When it happened before this, the president fired 5 cabinet secretaries. This party speaks more about corruption more than it acts about it.
Come in.
I want to inform my brother here that the Honorable Aladwa is not been arrested. He's in Parliament as we speak now. And he has not been accused by any governor, so I don't know.
No, it's actually Akala.
Well, that is, we've seen it in the news, and as we speak now, we are going to issue a statement with regard to that. We are still investigating the matter. just as the government always says we're investigating before they take action, we are also doing the same. Now, let's get to what...
No, it's important for us to finish that issue.
Let him finish.
Okay.
Okay. You see, you've just talked about one individual who has just been reported in one of the local dailies that he was arrested
picked up with a few others, yes.
a few people yesterday. Yeah, of course, as an institution that believes in integrity, we have to investigate the matter. Let's ensure that the right information is brought to us. Then we take action, and we'll do it in due course. So it's not about hours or so, but before the end of the day, you'll have heard from us.
Even as you respond, Bwana Itumbi, a text here from a viewer. He's Chabunet, he's a political analyst. He comes here quite a few times. Ask Itumbi to explain the plethora. Thank you. I have an English teacher with me here in studio. Of uncoordinated, contradictory communication